About halfway there, completing 5 more rounds or give or take of Sukha Purvak. That alternate nostril breath. Calming the mind, clearing. Give yourself one more full round. When you're done, just sitting with it for a moment. Opening the eyes slowly, staying in that peaceful state. We'll move slowly into a supported Badrasana this morning. So a supported recline. So if you have a pillow or two or a bolster, we can line them up behind the back all the way to the base of the spine. And if you have blocks and you'd like to bring blocks in to support the knees, what we'll do is come into a place of a seated position, bring the soles of the feet together, and have the legs away from the body just gently enough so that we can let the hips open up and relax. Tuck the blocks in or support if you choose. A long spine here. So taking the time to press into the ground and lengthen, draw the chin in slightly, lengthen through the crown of the head and allow your body to come all the way back. If your neck does not feel quite supported, we can always prop another pillow or another bolster block under that bolster. And get cozy here for a moment. Take the arms up nice and long and reach, stretching even through the shoulders for a moment. And then draw the shoulder blades down first, lifting through the sternum. Let the arms float down to the earth. And pause here. Close the eyes. Continue those beautiful deep breaths in and out of the body. Breathing all the way down into the lower lobe, the middle lobe, and the upper lobe of the lung. Breathing in Anahata energy, heart space energy. Breathe in, maybe visualize the color green of Anahata, that energy coming into the space near the heart. and swirling around Sushumna, your energetic spine. And just become connected to the breath and that energy flow. Remaining here, noticing how open we've been recently, how open our heart has been, how connected we feel to the universe or lack thereof. See if we can soften enough through the shoulders and back to become one with that space in the heart, opening, creating less tension little by little as we move through this practice today. Remembering to be kind to ourselves, remembering to find grace and compassion where we may be stuck. Remembering to be gentle with others who appear maybe to be stuck, or maybe even those who appear to just not have the knowledge to come from a space of the heart, or to be able to even know the difference in opening the heart or not. Give yourself 3 or 4 more deep rounds of breath here. Hands can come down below the knees and gently scoop the knees up to that center point. Maybe taking a moment to extend the legs out long in front of you. Maybe rolling the legs from side to side. Hips have been open a few moments. And we'll roll to our right side slowly and easily, staying again in this place as much as possible of calmness and quiet. And press up to a comfortable seat. Transferring our supports below the knees for starters. And what we'll do is lie back again, flat on our backs. And we're going to lift our hips up onto that space that we've created with the bolster or blocks or blankets. And coming down, just taking a moment here to get cozy. Arms down at our sides, slip the shoulder blades down the back. So we'll get a little openness to the hips, an openness to the belly region. If it's more comfortable to have the knees bent, we can do that as well. But just pausing here again for a few moments, a little inversion towards the heart. Gentle tuck of the chin to maintain the integrity of our cervical spine. Maybe just taking deep breaths here for a moment. Filling the body up. Then when it's comfortable to you, on an exhale, drawing the right knee into the chest. Letting gravity help us here just slightly. With our hips elevated, bringing that knee in towards the right shoulder or the right armpit area. Fingers interlaced around the knee, creating a little tension, drawing it in even deeper with each exhale. Softening in, allowing the right hip to open. Dependent on your practice and your body and its needs, maybe finding some movement in that hip if we feel a little kink. And entirely up to your body. Maybe for you, slipping into that half happy baby on that side from here. Maybe simply opening up to the right with that knee, not just into the shoulder, but out to the right side. See what feels best. Left arm can extend out to the left or be used as an anchor on the left hip. Stay with the breath. When comfortable, taking your time to extend the right leg, switching it out with the left. With your body's awareness of sensation, just noting what you need. Relaxing the hip joints. When that balance is found on both sides, you can walk the feet up. Take a gentle lift, pressing into the earth through the feet. Lift the hips, release the support system, and extend out long into Shavasana for a moment. Checking in with the body and its sensations. Rolling to your left when you're ready, coming up. We'll transfer our bodies over into Barmanasana, that tabletop position, with the hands positioned directly below the shoulders. Open the fingers wide. Maybe take a moment to just lift the knees, lift the hands, just stretch like a cat on the mat for a moment, just stretching out, and then moving into Marjariasana, that cat pose, really opening up the back side of the body. So pressing in, exhaling, opening up the vertebrae in the back, letting the shoulders relax, inhaling through, rounding out the spine. Gaze comes up, press the heart forward. Getting some movement to the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, cervical spine. Exhale, press it back. Get lost for a moment in the breath and the body, just maybe taking some side to side movements, just opening up, stretching. It's early. What does your spine need? What does your shoulders, what do your shoulders need? Your hips. Just creating that movement in the body. And then coming back to a seat on the heels in Vajrasana for a moment. We're going to move into 3 variations, or your personal variation that works for you, for Ustrasana. Again, another beautiful heart opener. And I will show you the 3 variations and demo them for you. And you choose this morning what is best for you. Pick one and go easily. We can simply bring our knees below the hips to support the body weight, and tilting the pelvis down. We can tuck the chin, draw the head back to really lengthen the cervical spine. Lift through the breastbone and just hang here as if there were a beautiful thread connecting us to the heavens, just hanging, deep breathing. We can come back to the Uttanasana with the hands to the heels or the toes tucked, hands to the heels. The other variation, if that is uncomfortable and there's a little less dizziness, is coming right back to where we bring our hands back to touch the tips of the toes. And in this, we take a moment, same thing, lengthen the spine, draw the chin back, head comes back. We lift the hips. So it's a little less back bend of a back bend, but still gives the same openness to the heart. So choosing your variation of Ustrasana this morning, and maybe stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something a little different. Um, Personally, learning to become comfortable with just opening through the chest and letting the arms hang here. Letting gravity actually open the front of the heart space in the chest. And just taking a few breaths in either one of these places. I would like you to um, find some expansion in the front of the chest. If it's too much, you become dizzy, come back to a seat on the heels. It's completely okay to take a seat on the heels and breathe. Beautiful, ladies. Nice, even rounds of breath. Any dizziness or nausea can be um, overcome with a little bit of an O breath here if you become dizzy. Just as if you were blowing in and out of a straw. Nice long breaths. And when you're ready to come into Vajrasana, seated in Vajrasana for just a few moments, close the eyes and come back to that space of the heart. Notice the shoulders are open. Notice we're learning to lift a little bit more from the front of the chest. And then our next posture is what we know, and I'll demo it for you as Anahatasana, but a little different variation. It's called Nikunja Asana. And it is a posture that babies automatically go into when there's respiratory distress or stomach upset. So something very different and very common in babies that we've lost the ability to do so. It will release tension in the upper part of the lungs because we're always upright and this tension is drawing on the upper part of the lungs, releases tension and congestion in the upper part of the lungs. So it is coming down onto the elbows. So we always know babies have their bottoms stuck up in the air, but we spread our elbows a little wider than the shoulders and come forward, lay the chest between the elbows. Right ear to the earth. 3 to 6 rounds of breath. So bringing your elbows to the floor, take them a little wider than the shoulders, bottoms in the air. Come forward, bring your chest down between the elbows. If you need a pillow to bring your connection, your chest, and it's a little painful on the low back, you can always take a pillow. Nice. Take 3 to 6 rounds of breath with your right cheek pressed to the earth. The benefits for this are tremendous. It helps invert the internal organs, the abdominal organs, slightly, releases any of the tension in the upper part of the chest. When you've completed 3 to 6 rounds of breath on the right, switch your head over to the left. Find 3 to 6 rounds of breath here. And when you've completed 3 to 6 rounds of breath on this side, send your hips back to your heels in child's pose, balasana. Arms can come back to your heels. They can be outreached in front of you, wherever you choose. Deep breaths again, connecting with your heart space. Just a few more rounds of breath. We'll move from balasana into sphinx. So slowly rising up from child's pose, coming all the way out to the belly. And again, take the toes long behind the body, elbows directly below the shoulders. Gently lengthen before we press upwards. Lengthen from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Inhaling slowly into a gentle back bend in the lumbar spine. So we're pressing the shoulders back. Heart comes forward. Each exhale, softening the thoracic spine into this beautiful posture. Again, opening the heart space. Long, deep breaths. Feel the release on the exhale as we melt the heart forward, the shoulders back. Soften through the shoulders. When you feel that you've had enough, slipping down slowly into crocodile. And crocodile is placing the forearms one on top the other, resting the third eye on top of the forearms. We can take the feet wider now, wide as our mat, and maybe even roll the hips from side to side a little bit to release any tension in the low back. Taking 3 long breaths all the way down to the base of the spine. Visualize that breath expanding the torso all the way into the base of the spine. Beautiful. When it's comfortable to, staying right here, but bringing your right knee out to the side in a 90-degree bend. Just gently bringing the right knee out. If you need to lay your left cheek down on your forearms or the earth, make yourself comfortable. Arms can be along your sides, wherever you choose, but let that right knee come up beside you at a 90-degree angle and breathe. If it's comfortable here, we can roll right on over to our left side, finding that knee at that 90-degree bend with our left hand. Open up into a twist. Reaching that right arm out long. If you need a prop or a pillow to slip under that right knee, feel free. Again, a nice little traction to the lumbar spine here. You may feel some popping sensations, your spine shifting into place. A little traction and tension into that right hip. Deep breaths into the heart space, the front of the chest. Wringing out tension, wringing out worry. Beautiful. 3 more deep, deep breaths here. Slowly returning to your belly, to crocodile, just taking your time. We'll find balance and shift that left knee when you're ready, when your body's ready to shift the left knee up into that 90-degree bend. Maybe taking time to roll the hips from side to side. Taking all the time you need to get comfortable in this position. Breathe deep. Notice the shift in the ribs, the shift in the upper back when we roll back to the belly. The exhale is taking you deeper into a place of surrender of the muscles, of the tension, maybe even the thoughts. When it's feeling right for you to move into the twist on the opposite side, rolling to that right side, finding an anchor with the right knee. I'm sorry, the left knee. Take a few breaths. Open that left arm up. Breathe into the heart space. And in time, after a couple more deep breaths, shifting slowly back to your belly. Pressing back into Balasana, hips to heels. Maybe this time walking the fingers all the way out long, taking that nice stretch. Draw the hips back, fingers forward, taking that nice stretch through the spine. Maybe lifting the forearms, the elbows up off the earth for a moment. 3 deep breaths. Rising when ready, settling into Shavasana. I'd like you to be very comfortable in your Shavasana, maybe by placing a blanket over the body. Sometimes, even if we aren't chilled, that beautiful gift of the heaviness, the security of that heaviness of the blanket over the body. If you choose to place a pillow under the knees, the support under the neck and the head here. Finding 3 deep cleansing breaths. An inhale through the nose and a deep exhale, open mouthed exhale. Just allowing yourself to rid of any stagnant energy we've accumulated. Let yourself be rid of that today. Let yourself let that go. Making room for new, loving, compassionate, graceful energy to replace what you're letting go of. Soften the eyes, soften the jawline. Note the tension in the shoulders. See if you can maybe walk the shoulder blades down the back slightly. Lift through the heart. Soften the belly. Soften the organs in the abdomen. Soften the hips, the legs all the way down to the toes, and the arms to the tips of the fingers. Fill yourself with compassion, grace, love, contentment, peace. Deepen your breath. As much as I'd love to leave you here longer. And if you need that today, take the time for that today. Make time for yourself to pause in Shavasana and let go. Soften. So we deepen the breath here this morning, though. Bring the right arm over top of the chest. Place your right hand on your left shoulder. Place your left hand on your right shoulder. Give yourself that nice big squeeze and hug this morning. We've missed those from so many people around us. And I know it's not quite the same, but take a moment. And when you're ready, create your intention of love and compassion and grace and all that encompasses your heart. Create that intention before you rise to a seated posture today. Pressing your way up from that left side to a place of activation. It's early, coming up to a comfortable seat. I'd like to introduce you before we close, to Hridaya Mudra, the mudra of the heart. And it is taking the index finger to the fatty portion of the thumb pad and bringing the middle finger and ring finger to the thumb. Pinky finger stands out. So Hridaya is heart in Sanskrit, Hridaya Mudra. And placing your hands down on your thighs, sit up tall for a moment. And I'd like for you to visualize before you someone you love deeply. And beside that person, visualize someone you're neutral to. Maybe the postman, it may be the last person that you held a door open for this week, or maybe the one who checked you out at the store if you happen to be in the store. Somebody neutral. And then visualize someone you're having deep difficulty with, someone maybe you hold resentment for, next to the other two. And visualize yourself before the three of them, reaching out, connecting hands. The four of you holding space for one another. And as I read to you, repeat to yourself, may we be free from danger. May we have safety. Maybe we all be free from fear. May we have happiness. May we learn to be happy. May we be peaceful. May we have physical happiness. May we be healthy. May we embody our own love and understanding. May we make a friend of our bodies. May we have ease of well-being. May we live with ease. May loving kindness manifest throughout our lives. May we learn to dwell in peace. Hands in to our heart space as we bow inward, honoring our own heart space, the love that we can have for ourselves or must have for ourselves before we can learn to have the love for others. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere attain peace and harmony. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Namaste.